Parliament was suspended today. Flags at the capital flew at half-mast. For a Prime Minister whose government and downfall so divided Australia at the time, there was acclaim and affection across the political divide at the news of his passing. This montage was produced by Tom Eagleton.
Today our Parliament and our nation pause to mourn the loss of one of Australia's greatest sons.
Gough Whitlam was a giant figure in this Parliament and in our public life.
In my judgment, no star has shone brighter in the Australian political firmament.
I always hoped he'd reach the ton, he'd get to 100.
He wasn't concerned with just sitting under the banyan tree and talking ideology. He was about getting the party ready for government.
Reforming, modernising and making our party electable.
It's time, Gough once told us, a phrase that captured the imagination of a nation.
And I'll never forget the excitement and the enthusiasm of that election. And neither will so many others who support our party.
The Whitlam government should not be measured in years, but in achievements.
He changed the way Australia thought about itself and, in a sense, gave it a new destiny.
Oh, it was a fierce political battle. And there were tense times, difficult times.
Our troops home from Vietnam, the birthday ballot ended because of him. The death penalty abolished and discrimination banished from our laws because of him. No-fault divorce in the family court because of him.
He represented a new way of thinking about government, about our region, about our place in the world, and about change itself.
He didn't have a lot of support, it has to be said, in the regions. Farmers were protesting outside of Parliament House. I have to confess I was one of them.
Healthcare changed because of him. Education changed because of him. Land rights for Aboriginal Australians because of him.
He was the first Aboriginal Prime Minister, real Prime Minister for Aboriginal Affairs.
He also, of course, abolished the imperial honours. He changed the national anthem. And I think he would have changed the Australian flag if he could have got away with it.
And if he thought he had a grand idea, he'd want to implement it forthwith. And if he had a fault, maybe he tried to do too much too quickly.
There are some who say that he did too much too soon. But few can say that what he did could have waited longer.
The proclamation, which you have just heard read by the Governor-General's official secretary, was countersigned Malcolm Fraser.
I never felt he bore me personal animosity. I think he regarded that as politics.
Gough Whitlam was a public servant, not a perfect servant.
Gough did not basically himself have a great interest or involvement in economics.
He is a hero to many in the non-Labor side of politics. To me, Gough Whitlam conjures up images of a great ancient Greek or Roman statesman.
The former Victorian Trade Union Defence Committee swore blind he was a closet Liberal, or more frankly, a spy. The Melbourne establishment believed he was a class traitor, one who'd sullied his boots and his family name by seeking an easier rise in the stupider party. You can be sure of one thing, he said of a possible meeting with his maker: I shall treat him as an equal.
Gough is resolving his relationship with God as we speak, no doubt.
And remembering Gough, we remember his wife Margaret, a great Australian in her own right, and their life together. It's a great Australian love story.
If Gough is in Olympus, I hope, I have no doubt that he's there with Margaret. And I think that in some respects, one of the things we can be happiest about today is the fact that that old couple are no longer apart.
The great man of my life had gone. If I achieved anything, he made me.
He was a great leader. He was a great Australian. And for so many of us, and it's what makes it so hard, he was a great friend and mentor.